Hey y'all, welcome to At the Table podcast, a virtual table where we discuss all things young adulting. My name is Fikayo, and thank you so much for having me in your ears. This podcast today is going to be talking about the things that I have learned through my 5+ years of journaling and some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way as well. Um, Before we start that, though, you guys know that we would usually do our segments and, well, it's the round table, but I really don't have anything this week to report on or to talk about. This week has been a busy, busy week, and it feels like I'm just now being able to come up for air, and I don't have anything. So we're just going to go straight into the episode. Is that okay? All right. So, yes, I have been journaling for over 5 years now. It has been like the best skill that I have learned. And literally, um, I don't know, I've been journaling since I was young, but ever since, I've been going to therapy, my therapists were able to help me really direction my journaling into, I don't know, like into just things that they knew that I would need, like maybe like time blocking or like more like planning. And I'll talk about the different ways that I journal because I have two notebooks that I carry around with me all the time, and they both serve two different purposes entirely, but we will talk about that. But the reason why for me journaling was really important is because I kind of go through these cycles, right? So usually I will start with general overwhelm, just like me being completely overwhelmed with whatever is going on, whatever is happening, or maybe even just the things that I put on myself because I am one of those people, like I am truly, truly a busy bee, and I love being a busy bee, but sometimes it can get too heavy. So like before I would like stack myself with all these things, but I wouldn't have a way to kind of organize my life. I wouldn't have a way to kind of make it all make sense. And like it would just all come crashing down. So because of that, I would get really, really overwhelmed. And then because of that overwhelm, I would have anxiety, or I would start demonstrating anxiety. And then through anxiety, I'd get depressed. So with my therapist, then we had realized that we really need to start treating this overwhelm. And what was one of the best ways to treat the overwhelm? It was through better time management. And that's the first thing we're going to talk about today. Journaling really, really, really helped me be able to monitor, take care of, and protect my time. I realized that there's some people who they can have all the things in their head and they're perfectly fine. Like my mom is like that. Like she can remember 50 million things in her head and she's fine. I'm not like that. I, if it all lives in my head, it all gets too much. I use this analogy with my therapist all the time. And it's like my overwhelm feels basically like I'm in a room, right? And there's balloons and all the balloons have helium in them. So the balloons have gone up to the ceiling and I'm like, a little person in the corner and I'm looking at these balloons and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, how do I tackle all of these things? And what journaling does for me is it allows me to like take the balloon and maybe take a rock and then tie the rocks down and then be able to see overhead all of the different balloons. So sometimes it's not even about popping them, but it's about grounding them so I can see above all of them. And so I don't feel overwhelmed. That's literally what journaling does for me. It allows me to not have all of those balloons in my head, but be able to transfer them to paper. And then not only that, but be able to know like this day I'm doing this day I'm doing this day I'm doing that. And I find that it really, really, really helps because it almost allows me to mentally prepare for something before I do it. Like tomorrow, I have a long day, but I already know today, and I've known all week that tomorrow was going to be a long day. So I've been able to adequately prepare. I've done the homework I needed to do because I knew that if I wanted to have a good day tomorrow, I needed to get all the homework done today. So it's not like tomorrow comes and I'm catching up on stuff where I have due dates and I'm trying to meet or whatever. No, like I'm literally able to lay out my time, and I'm a more visual person. Maybe for someone who isn't as visual, it might be able to work. differently. I don't know. But for me, I have to be able to see it out in front of me. And like my visuality or whatever goes an extra step because I have to see it all in my handwriting. I cannot buy one of those pre-made planners because it's not made for me. It's made for whoever, wherever, wherever, whenever, whatever, right? But it wasn't made for me. So literally, I draw up my own planner every month and every week. And it literally has down everything that I needed to have, whether it be what am I going to meal prep, whether it be my homework, whether it be the habits, the very specific habits that I want to have from week to week, the projects, the podcasts. Like it's just tailored exactly to my lifestyle and what I'm doing. And I just find that it has taken my life experience to the next level because I'm properly able to prepare and plan my life. Amazing. Like amazing, amazing. It was definitely a game changer. Another thing that the podcasting, no, the journaling helped me be able to do was slow down. Like I've told you, I am a busy bee and I love being busy. But when I see all 4 weekends of the month are completely booked, that's when I know, no, Fikayo, that's too much. Like, you need to pick at least one of these Saturdays and do nothing, you know? Or, it also allows me to prep for each day, not get overbooked, but also be able to prep, know that, okay, this day I'm doing this day I'm doing that. And also literally, the act of sitting down and writing is just a meditative act. It allows me to literally slow down. I'm not doing that much. I'm not thinking. I'm not problem solving. I'm not strategically leading nothing. I'm literally just drawing up and preparing for my next week. Such a simple, beautiful, mundane task, but one that like I really treasure. Oh, another way it allows me to slow down. So I'll talk about this later. But another way it allowed me to slow down is because, well, I have a diary as well. And in the diary, I literally write down everything. And we will talk about prompts later as well. And we'll talk about the differences between my diary and my journal, I should say, and my planner and how those two come together and also how they differ. But literally just that, like being able to think through my thoughts and being able to write down my thoughts and being able to capture my thoughts is very important to me because I just think it's insane that people like actually have thoughts and they don't hold on to them or they don't even realize what they're thinking. Like that's like, wow, like people actually are not cognizant of the thoughts that they are thinking. No, I try as much as possible to hear the thoughts, feel the thoughts, know the thoughts, write the thoughts down, and evaluate the thoughts so that I know what's going on within me. But yeah, so I keep saying podcasting. No, journaling has really helped me learn how to slow down. Another thing journaling has helped me be able to do is learn my system. And I am a firm believer that every single person has their own system. And this is like code, right? Literally hardwired by God, literally written by God. Every single person has their system. And I believe that when you operate through your system, you're able to operate as your best self because like you're literally operating through the way that was crafted for specifically you. I feel like the only reason why I'm able to optimize my time, optimize my life, and like be okay is because I know my system very well. I know that Fikayo after 9 o'clock starts to get sleepy, so she should be in bed by 9. I know that I need to be able to write everything down or I start to get anxious. So I need to always have some type of writing something with me at all times. I know that I need to be able to prep for my week and my month in advance so I don't get anxious. So I make sure that I get that done as well. I know I need to get to the gym, so I make sure I include that in my routine. But really, journaling is a part of my system, but because of the fact that I journal and I'm constantly doing these introspection, I'm constantly reevaluating myself, I realize that I know my system very well. I can tell you Fikayo didn't like that. And I can speak in third person about it because I know Fikayo liked that. I'm able to, that's another great thing about journaling. You're able to detach yourself from yourself, depending on how you write, of course, right? But sometimes I will write in third person, like Fikayo did this, so that I could have a more expansive what's the word I'm looking for? Remind me, perspective. Aha. A more expansive perspective on whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm writing on, or whatever situation I'm trying to reevaluate. So, um, journaling really has helped me with my system. I know Fikayo very, very well. And I could almost say that it is fully from the fact that I journal and plan so intentionally. And this goes into, well, perfectly into my next one, but it's introspection. I'm very, very good at introspection. I do it every day. Every single time I journal properly, I am doing introspection. I look at Fikayo yesterday. Did Fikayo do something Fikayo wasn't supposed to do? Did Fikayo talk to someone she wasn't supposed to? Did Fikayo talk to someone in a way that she wasn't supposed to talk to them? Like, was she rude? Was she mean? Was she hard? It allows me to really be in touch with my emotions, with my feelings, and it really, really, really grounds me because ultimately I know who I am. And I also believe that there's no greater skill than introspection. Being able to know who you are and understand the space in which you take up, I believe is very, very important. That way, so that you're not minimizing yourself, but also so you're not like overly proud. But you're able to stand in what you're supposed to stand in, the way that you need to be standing there and the way you need to be showing up there. So personally, for me, I'm constantly trying to do introspection. If there's something that is brought up to my attention, I will try to reevaluate it. If there's a problem, I will try to go over it with myself and try to figure it out. And like, why am I doing this? What's going on? Like, why am I a little sad today? Why am I a little anxious today? Um, and just, I believe that that's a skill that I want to have. And not only be able to necessarily, like note that I'm feeling some type of way, but also be able to fix myself, like be able to heal myself and be able to walk and talk myself out of said thing as well. But absolutely. Oh, and also just regulating my emotions as well. I think that that's just something as an adult or a young adult you should be able to do rather well. Yeah, journaling has absolutely helped me be able to regulate my emotions and just talk through things. Like, I'm upset. This is why I'm upset. Doesn't make sense why I'm upset, type of thing. How can I solve this issue? And it allows me it just really encourages thinking as well. And that is something that I'm really trying to make sure I do well and often think. Okay. And lastly, well, I talked about this, but just mental organization, journaling and planning has really helped me be able to just organize my mental space. And for me, that is a huge thing. Because again, like the overwhelm thing I was talking about, I really, really do, really, really do get overwhelmed. And it gets to the point where sometimes it's choking me. But it's really, really great the fact that I'm able to find a remedy, a natural remedy as well, that is able to help me solve that. But yeah, those are the 5 things that I have learned through journaling. And I'm going to say it just so that you can hear it, but it's time management, mental organization, my personal system, how to slow down, and also the importance of introspection. Now, I'm going to talk about the 2 journals I have. Yes, I have 2 journals. I have what you would call like a planner journal, right? And I also have a journal, which is a diary journal. So for the sake of this episode, we're going to say planner and we're going to say diary. So I have a diary, and no, let's do the other one first. Let's do the planner first. I feel like that's going to be easier to explain. But the planner is literally just that. It's a planner. But not only is it a planner, because it does carry my calendar inside. It does carry my weekly schedule. Like, I will write, and I have to write it down. I will write down everything that I'm going to do that week and everything that I'm going to do that month. Literally, like, I draw a calendar in it and I follow it to a T. Like, if it's not in the journal, it's not happening. And I tell people this all the time. Like, if it's not in the journal, it's not happening. But that planner also serves as another purpose as well. Have you guys ever heard of like an everyday journal, bullet journal, scrap journal? Like, that's what that planner serves as well. So if maybe I go somewhere and there's something I want to keep, I will like tape it in the journal. Maybe there's somewhere I go and I hear a great quote. I will write it in the journal. Maybe I'm trying to plan for this podcast. Literally, the notes for this podcast is in that journal. But everything that surrounds the day, for the most part, will sit in that journal. Because why? The other journal has my thoughts. So the other journal, which is my diary journal, that journal holds literally all of my thoughts. I journal in it once a day. Well, usually once a day, depending on how the need is. But usually it'll be once a day in the morning, and I will journal. I will write down my life. And I will talk about prompts later, but this has been a game changer for me. It is so important for me in the morning to be able to write for several reasons. All the 5 that I listed, before, but also because it's something nice that I can do for myself. And also I want to be able to remember. And what other best way to remember than writing down in the moment it's happening? I truly, truly want my kids to be able to know 21-year-old Fikayo. I want my kids to be able to know 23-year-old Fikayo. And this is a perfect segue into the prompts that I use. I don't do those like traditional journal prompts, right? Like write about, I think they're so dumb. But also I'm far advanced from that. I think in the beginning I used to, oh my goodness, I've been journaling for much more than 5 years. If I'm going to be honest, I've been journaling almost 10 years now. I have journals from 2015. And if I go in there, I literally like went on Pinterest and I would write down like all of those journal prompts. And they weren't even really journal prompts. Like, I'm literally thinking of a page right now, but it'll be like, what's your favorite color right now? What's your favorite saying? Who's your favorite person? Who's your friend in class? Like those type of questions. And, in those journals, I have written down like who my favorite person was, who was my favorite friend, blah, 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 blah. And it's very nice to be able to look back and see that. But I don't journal like that anymore. If anything now, I journal like this. Well, literally, I journal how I need to. And I think that that's the biggest advice that I can give you. Like, journal how you literally need to, and in whatever capacity will keep you coming back. If it's a prompt and you're going to keep doing a prompt every day, do that. I saw one, and mind you, again, like, I don't want to like poop on prompts because like they're great. They're great if you're able to do them. I just can't do them for whatever reason. Like, I really did try to start like a gratitude journal. Unfortunately, I just can't keep one of those. I don't know. I just won't keep coming back every week or every day. But I did notice some prompts that I would do that I would keep coming back to, and one that was very important to me, especially when I was like like super religious, was Dear God. And I literally have a journal where I think I kept that prompt the same, but it was literally just, Dear God, this is what happened in my day today. This is who I spoke to. And this is how I reacted to said situation. And that was a really, really good one, especially within my religious days, because um, like it just felt like an extra relationship with God. It just felt like an extra touch point with God. And it felt like I was really, really involving God into my life. Now I'm not as like, now I don't really do that as often, really. Sometimes I will, but not all the time. Sometimes I write, I want to be able to rate this. So here's one. Hey kids, if you're reading this, sometimes I write those, like, especially if I've had a day where there's a lesson that I learned, or there's something I really want to make sure that my kids know, I will write that, like, hey kids, if you're reading this, dot, dot, dot. And then I will write down what I wish my kids would know, right? Another prompt that I use often, very, very often, like probably literally every single day is, hey mamas, today, or hey baby, today, like literally just talking to myself, like, hey honey, today, hey sweetie, today, this happened, da, 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 you know? But like literally talking to Fikayo, hey baby, this happened. I want you to know about it. And like, I don't know, like, have y'all ever watched This Is Us? Did y'all remember when Kate got Alzheimer's and stuff? Sometimes I'll write to myself like that, like me much, 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 much older, like just telling Fikayo, like reminding Fikayo who Fikayo is. I will write like that. So, hey baby, this is what happened today. This is what, and that has really, really helped me. Another prompt I use, what does it say? Oh, this is another one I do all the time, but let me tell you what happened. Dot, 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 dot. So obviously, like these are just different ways I come to my journal, but oh my goodness, like let me tell you what happened, girl. Like literally talking to my journal like they're my friend. Like let me tell you what happened. And that's how I come to my journal as well. And like it's not all the same every day. It just depends on how I need to show up. Like literally that. Sometimes I write in like chapters, like sometimes several things are going on and I don't really have a cohesive thought about anything, or I can't really put everything in beautiful paragraph forms. But maybe I'll write podcast, right, as the header or at the top, and then I'll write all the like little things about podcast. Or maybe I'll write like my mom, right? And I'll write all the things that I probably want to report to my journal that my mom did to me or something like that, you know? In church, I'm also journaling while the pastor's preaching how I need to understand whatever is being said, I will journal that. So no, maybe I'm not taking exact notes from what the pastor's saying, but the way that it's taking meaning in my spirit, I want to write because I want to be able to capture those thoughts and go back later and kind of do introspection, understand why I thought like this. I also find in places like that, prayers come up for specifically me, like what I'm trying to do, and where I'm trying to go, and maybe the Holy Spirit shows me something, about my destiny or whatever, whatever, whatever. I want to make sure I capture those things. So really, honestly, it's whatever. Like, don't be so rigid with your journaling experience. It really is supposed to be a beautiful experience, and it's supposed to be whatever you make of it and whatever you want it to be. Literally in my planner, I draw all over the place. I doodle all over the place. Like, I don't even follow the lines anymore. Like, it really is just my world, my chaotic, beautiful, handwritten world. And my journal is just my thoughts. And I know that I will do podcasts over and over and over about this because honestly, it is one of my favorite things that I've ever done. And it's something that I will continue to do because the impact is just so strong. But yeah, I hope that in this episode you were able to get whatever you were looking for. I hope in this episode maybe it encourages you to pick up a journal. Moleskins are my favorite journals right now. What is this? I think this is the large journal that I have, and I always keep both planners on me, or both journals on me at all times. Very specific about the paper that I use as well. Moleskin has the best paper in my opinion. These journals, they do get a little flimsy. Like as you start hitting the last few pages, like things start looking a little weird, but they'll hold up. And I probably use a journal I probably need a new journal like once every 6 months. So my journals do hold up and they're pretty good. And I love it. 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 If you have any questions, please, of course, as always, let me know, DM me, message me, and I will love, love, love to answer them because this is what I do. I love talking about these kind of things. But yeah, this is where we're at, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed talking about it. Trust me, it will not be the last time we talk about journaling. Maybe next time, I'll bring someone else. I know my friend Jennifer, she really, really enjoys journaling. So maybe I'll bring her on and we can talk about how she journals and finds expression through journaling as well. But yes, this was a great, great episode. But guess what? Oh yeah, this was a great, great episode, but we do have to go. I have to go. But guess what? You don't have to go. Literally, I have phenomenal, phenomenal, amazing podcast episodes right after these ones. I have interviews, I have solos. Just go look underneath. You'll find all of them there. And come on, let's keep the conversation going. You don't have to leave the table just yet, okay? All right, please, like always, follow at the table _pod so I know you're listening and so we can become friends. If you want to see the face behind the voice, I'm Fikayo. My Instagram is FIIKAYO. That is 2 eyes. And I think that is all. Oh, one more thing. Please don't forget to rate us. It really does help. It really does help this podcast grow more. And it helps us be able to have a better reach. And it's free and it helps me. So please. Thank you. All right. All right. All right. Wait. Before you go, please remember, laugh really loud, pray all the time, and shine brightly. Goodbye.